Hey, everybody, welcome in and good morning. And here we are with another live video broadcast. We're coming to you live online on YouTube, and the video will live on for rebroadcast and review long after I'm done being live here. You know how it works. You know the rules. Turn on your notifications, subscribe, comment, like. Chat is open, so let's get involved in the conversation here. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. It is the day after Christmas. Hope lots of people we know woke up this morning to a copy of $100,000 Hair Cutter Under the Tree. Lots more people throughout next year are going to be getting a copy of 100 by 100, the new book. Final pre-orders are happening now. All pre-orders will ship by January 1. This is 100 new haircut customers in 100 days, guaranteed. So get your copy and let's get rolling. I want to talk about a little change for 2020, and I want to jump into the content and the subject for today's video. Many of you follow me in many places. I have my Patreon page. I have my audio blogs. I have my blog on my Clipper Guy website. I have my YouTube channel here. I have lots and lots of places where I share lots of information. One new change coming for the new year is that I am going to be covering one subject a week. There's one thing we'll talk about each week. It's kind of going to be the thing we're talking about each week, and I'm going to put it up in multiple places. Here's how it's going to go. On Monday, the subject will appear in a text blog at clipperguy.com. You can read it. On Thursday, the email will go out containing the video. That's today, Thursday. When I'm done with this video today, I'm going to email the link out through my email system. And then on Friday, the subject will be covered in a audio blog on my Patreon site. So if you want to watch, if you want to listen, if you want to read, I'm going to be covering the information in all of these different formats. I see lots of people are checking in and saying hello. Yes, I will be in Long Beach. Yes, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to everybody who's jumping in with us here. So starting with this week, Monday I posted the text. Tomorrow goes live the audio. It's already recorded and set to auto post. And today is the video posting. And the subject today is 2020 and the decade of average ticket. And I want to talk about what I'm talking about. I want everybody to understand where I'm coming from with this, because this is really where I believe we as an industry, we as the world of hair cutters are going to make our money in the coming years. We are days away from 2020. We are days away from the dawning of the next decade. And where we divide things up and look at what decades were all about, I think everyone will agree without much question that the teens up through 2019, which ends in a week, the teens were really all about social media in terms of what drove our business, our exposure on social media, our brand building on social media, our interaction and connection with our customers on social media was really a large part of what drove our business in this last decade. And I don't think social media is going away. I definitely think social media will continue to change and evolve. I know many of us, the statistics bear it out, many of us are not spending the time we used to spend on Instagram. It's just not what it used to be. Many of us are interacting on Facebook in different ways. Currently, YouTube is actually pretty hot right now in terms of social media evolution, and YouTube has been out there a real long time. But the bottom line is social will not drive our business the way it did in the teens. Still going to be there. We're still going to be doing it. We're still going to be playing with it. But something else is going to drive our business. And what it comes down to is this. We spent a lot of time in the teens growing our business. We spent a lot of time in the teens learning how to connect with people and learning how to grow. And there are hair cutters who have fallen off, people who couldn't do the work, people who couldn't cut it literally, people who got bored and moved on, people who maybe got into the business thinking they were getting into something that wasn't quite what it turned out to be. There's been a lot of fall off in our industry. Schools are still producing graduates. There's still a lot of hair cutters out there, but I think we've lost a lot of the less than serious hair cutters, or at least they've begun to fade away. And we're left with a pretty solid, pretty healthy haircutting business and industry. Haircutting is strong right now. There's no shortage of customers. I tend to speak very American centric. I'm an American. I live in America. I live in the middle of America. So I tend to really focus on America. But I know that I have viewers and friends and listeners and community that extends beyond the borders of the United States of America. Interesting question. Frank says, I like that you do not have music in the background of your education. Why would I have music? Frank, thank you very much. I don't need to play music. We're talking here. We're listening here. We're sharing. We're engaging and connecting. So yeah, no music, Frank. Here's the deal. I really believe we have enough cutters and we have enough customers, and we have enough customers for the cutters, and we've all got plenty of business. And we're going to continue to grow our business. We're going to trade customers back and forth. I gain one, I lose one, you pick one up, whatever. But I think we've all come to a realization in the business that we have a formula we're working with that I call 2 hands, 1 chair. 2 hands, 1 chair. What I mean by that is we've only got 2 hands and we're working in 1 chair, and we have a limit to our capability. I think a lot of really good productive hair cutters have figured out that in order to grow in the 2020s, you can't do more haircuts. There's a limit to how many haircuts we can do. There's a limit to how fast you want to get, says the guy with the world records. But the reality is you can only go so fast before you begin to damage yourself in terms of wear and tear and durability. You can only go so fast before you begin to damage the work that you do. Your customer service, your quality will begin to suffer. And then lastly, you can only go so fast before you damage the experience, the customer service, the relationship on the client side. So there is a speed limit, if you will, to what we do in our business. And tied to that speed limit, of course, because of the way the industry works, is there's an income limit. One person, can only produce so much and can only make so much. So if we're going to continue to grow, if we're going to continue to hockey stick, to exponentially grow our income, we can't do it through productivity. We have to do it through average ticket. And this is where I'm calling this next decade the decade of average ticket. What I really mean to, no, I'm not. Sully says, are you leading us to raising our prices? And I'm absolutely not. Sully, you know I'm the king of haircut price increases. You know July 1, raise your haircut prices day in the USA. You know that January 1 is a haircut price increase time for lots of other people. But that's not what I'm talking about today. A haircut price increase is not an increase in average ticket. Yes, your ticket goes up, but after a short period of time, it becomes your new average. What I'm talking about here is driving your average ticket. Average ticket is the total amount of money that you make in a day, a week, or a month, divided by the number of customers that you saw in that day, week, or month. So let's just keep it simple. Let's call it a day. Let's say your haircut is $10 and you cut 10 haircuts in a day. You take in $100 and you divide 100 by 10, you have $10. That is your average ticket. And in the case of a $10 haircut and a $10 average ticket, that means everybody bought a haircut. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The reality is, in order to grow in our business, you're going to have to take more money from every customer, and not just, Sully, through the form of a price increase. You're going to have to find other ways, other places, other circumstances, and other situations in which people can give you other additional money. And I think there's 2 things we focus on here. Thing number 1 is service. The challenge to you for 2020 is to look at your service menu and figure out what more can you be offering from a service standpoint to your customers. We do haircuts. What else can we do? Well, if your beard trim's not included, that can be a la carte. If the shampoo service is not included, that can be a la carte. We've got hair color, we've got enhancements, we've got conditioning treatments, we've got texture services, we've got a variety of things. Our industry, the haircutting industry, is famous for being really, really creative with all the unbelievable things we can offer and sell to our customers. There's always something new on the horizon, some new service. So my challenge number 1 to you is, are you maximizing your opportunities to sell services? Is your menu deep, or are you just haircut, 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 haircut. I love cutting hair. I love cutting hair. I'll cut a lot of haircuts. But in order to drive average ticket, you have to give people more reasons to buy more from you for more money. They got to take more of your money. That's number one. And number two, those of you that know me well know where I'm going to go next. In addition to service, we have to have product. You must have the offering of professional take-home hair care product. You must have stock, inventory, things to sell. You must use, suggest, recommend professional take-home hair care products to your customers. You don't have to have a lot of product. I think a barber shop that mostly focuses on guy haircuts could probably build an extraordinarily strong take-home business just on 3 or 4 products alone, 3 or 4 SKUs, 3 or 4 items. Really, you could do really well with that. I'm not saying you stop there. I'm not saying that's all you do, but I'm saying if you're currently doing nothing, just the offering of 3 products, and you know the 3, you pick the 3, you know your customers, you know your market, you know the type of work that you do, you know the type of crowd that you attract and work with. So these 3 products, 3 or 4 products may be very different for every one of the people who's currently tuned into this video. But the reality is you got to stock it, you got to use it, you got to suggest it, and you got to close it. You got to do the deal with people. And, a couple of rules in the product category. Rule number 1 is keystoning, meaning you buy for 5, you sell for 10. You buy for 2, you sell for 4. You buy for 10, you sell for 20. Got to double your money. Got to make good money on the product. Don't be afraid to put profit on your product, number 1. Number 2, and here's a hard and fast rule. I talked about this at a class last week. When you are involved in performing services on clients, you do not ever use a product in your shop. You do not ever have a product on your station. You do not ever put a product on a client that is not available for purchase at the front of the store. If you don't have it to buy up front, don't put it on your counter. Don't use it on a client. Clients are going to ask, hey, what is that? Oh, yeah, this is ABC pomade. You buy it online. You just blew your chance. You just killed your ability to take some money from a customer in that way. That's just a huge, basic, fundamental, square one, rookie no-no. You just don't do that. If you don't have it available for purchase up front, don't even bring it in the shop. And I was in a shop and I explained to where I was doing this class, I said, if this were my shop, I would walk in the front door with a garbage bag and I would walk the counter from the first station all the way back through the shop. And I would walk along, and anything on the station that we don't sell in the shop would go in the garbage bag and would go in the garbage can, because my people would know right up front. They always did. You don't even bring it in the building if we don't sell it. I always provided my staff station top product for free. These are the things we use because these are the things we sell. And we have them out on the counter, and you're good to go. But don't bring anything in here that we don't sell. Don't bring anything in here that a customer can't buy. Why would you ever even do it? So, bottom line, let's put a bow on this and wrap it up for today. The 2020s are the decade of average ticket. More customers spending more money on each visit. Buy a haircut and get out, buy a haircut and get out. That's a very low average ticket. But buy a haircut and buy a secondary service. Buy a haircut, buy a bottle of gel, buy a haircut, buy a beard oil. Now we're driving up our average ticket. If you want a benchmark number to work with, those of you that are owners and managers, those of you that are talking to your staff, those of you that are sitting down with your staff monthly and quarterly and going over numbers and analyzing data and statistics and working with people to help them grow. I hope everybody who's a manager just heard me describe their behavior as a manager. Your goal is to develop people. Have a number. And the initial number, I believe, especially if you're just getting into this average ticket focus, is 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. Your average ticket goal is 1.5 times your haircut price. So in other words, if your haircut is $10 and you do 10 customers, your total revenue goal is $150. Now think about it, guys. That's just not hard to hit. A couple of bottles of gel, 1 or 2 add-on services, you got another $50 on the day. but that's a great place to start. If you're running an average ticket that is equivalent to your haircut, the next logical step is 1.5. 1.5 times your basic haircut price for your average ticket goal, calculated per week, calculated per month, calculated per day if you wish. But the 2020s driving average ticket, I want to help you. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, comment and like on the video. We got a bunch of comments today. We got people here, people tuning in, watching, and listening. Patreon.com/Ivan Zoot. The link will be in the video description when we're done. That is where you can subscribe to follow my audio posting, this video posting, links to my digital text posts on the Clipper Guy blog, all the good stuff that's out there. I want to help you grow in 2020. Get your copy, 100 by 100, 100 new haircut customers in 100 days. Still taking pre-orders. I promised the book would ship by January 23, and I'm excited to tell you all pre-orders will be in the box and in the mail by January 1. That's right. We're going to be 3 weeks and some ahead of schedule. All pre-orders on the new book, 100 by 100, all pre-orders are shipping January 1. By January 1, the postman will have them, and you will have them shortly thereafter. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Sorry about the shaking there. Have a wonderful New Year's celebration coming up, and let's just get out there and kill it in 2020 and the 2020s and beyond. Thank you. Bye-bye.